Two ugly, embarrassing losses. And you know what, chat? I'm not sure if this is recency bias because when you look at the Buffalo Bills for the past 5 years, 4 out of the last 5, we have had two ugly losses for the past, like I said, 4 out of the 5 past years, right? Like you reflect back to last year, terrible loss against the Baltimore Ravens where we got belt to ass from the Derrick Henry offense, followed by a very ugly loss to the Houston Texans in week 5 of that year. And then even going back years and years down the road, like who remembers when we got destroyed by the Pittsburgh Steelers and then we ended up losing to the Chiefs and the Eagles back to back during that 2020 season. And the sentiment is largely the same, right? It's fans freaking out. It's many people suggesting that the Bills need to fire Sean McDermott. It is, like this roster is absolutely awful. Like we're not going anywhere. And I don't know. It might be recency bias for me at this point, but this year feels different. Like this year feels different for me and not in a good way. And not in a good way specifically, because at least those years previously, we had dominant performances. And this Buffalo Bills team just hasn't really looked the same since, the fourth quarter of the first game, right? We haven't had a blowout victory unless we were playing the New York Jets, where we ended up having the largest margin of victory. We actually looked pretty damn good. All of those past seasons where we dropped two ugly ones, we at least had something to hang our hat on and being like, hey, you know what? I know this team's potential. I haven't seen this team's potential. I haven't, right? Like I haven't seen this Buffalo Bills squad that I have faith in. And I don't know what it is. I really don't. Like we could go out and we could say, oh, it's injuries on the defensive side of the football. It is with this offense just not clicking. But like really when I look at all of this, and probably one of the biggest like mistakes that like we can see, or like, so the biggest issues / problems is, oh my God, Dan, it's this defense, right? But guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this defense is this defense. We know what this team is all about. We know that this defense struggles at getting stops when we ask them to. But for the past 2 weeks, how angry can we be at the defense? How angry can we genuinely be? How are we going to continue to protect an offensive coordinator who has come out there and has just given back-to-back piss-poor play calling performances, and with Josh Allen played like absolute shit last night? Sometimes I feel like it's a cardinal sin for Bills fans to go out and point blame at the QB. Folks, you can still have confidence in your quarterback and you can still love your quarterback and still think that he's one of the best in the NFL, which I believe that he is. In fact, I know that he is. But he's not protected from criticism. He's not, right? Like last night was absolutely awful from the guy. He was terrible, man. And credit to the Atlanta Falcons. They played very well. Solid defense, very fast. Of course, they were bringing the pressure. Our wide receivers can't create separation. It's been awful. Like really outside of any advanced metric that like you can pull. Like, oh my God, Shakir, he's getting open. Don't worry about that, Dan. He's going to be fine. But like, I have no faith that this defense is ever going to be top 5. Not under Sean McDermott. So the best thing that the Buffalo Bills can do is have a quality offense. Sometimes the best defense is a striking offense. That's genuinely what it can be. And we just don't have answers, man. And I don't know if it's personnel, because last year we quite literally didn't have any issues at all. Like we quite literally didn't have any issues at all with the and supporting cast, right? So I think you need to look at a slump from Joe Brady. Like, why the hell did James Cook, why was he not out there on third down? Why did he only get 17 carries? Like, dude still went out and put up 84 yards. It's pretty damn good. But 17 carries? Like, why did we not make the run game more of a part of our offensive game plan? I think a lot of that has to do with I feel like a lot of that has to do with play calling. And like, yeah, like you can say, hey, like this Atlanta Falcons team was stacking the box, right? But that hasn't stopped James Cook before. So it's frustrating. It really, really is. And maybe some of you guys may have seen my TikTok video earlier. And I feel like this trend has just been going on for far too long. And I apologize for not hopping on this train a bit earlier. But dude, Sean McDermott's got to go. Like, not now. No, I'm not saying pull a Jets and fire your head coach when you're 4-2 going into the bye week. I'm not suggesting that. But I do think that we need to start looking to the future. The only thing saving Sean McDermott right now, the only thing saving Sean McDermott would be a Super Bowl appearance. And I'm not sure about you. Not many of us here are feeling too high on that right now based off of the product on the field that we have witnessed for the past couple of weeks. All I can hope is that history repeats itself and I could look back at the past couple of seasons, see the Buffalo Bills have 2 ugly losses toward the beginning of the season each and every single year, and then we ultimately end up going on a run. That's all I can hope, right? It's certainly not looking like that they're capable of getting that done, but I mean, what else do I have? And so I'm not going to sit here and just like not watch and just be doom and gloom for the remainder of the season. All you can like really look forward to is the next game. And so I refuse to live in a future that is not here yet. And so I refuse to live in the, oh man, like we're going to get bounced in the first round of the playoffs, or oh man, we're going to get bounced in whatever by the Kansas City Chiefs or by whoever. I refuse to live in that world. I absolutely refuse to live in that world, but is what it is. We have Arizona Anime Fan is coming in saying, Dan, in 92, after the famous no punt Bills 49ers game, the 49ers fired their DC. They were a serious Super Bowl contender after the Ravens game. In fact, Babbage still has a job, says the Bills aren't a serious Super Bowl contender. Look, whatever criticism that Bills fans currently have on this episode today is 110% justified, right? Is 110% justified. No, I don't think that Sean McDermott is the answer for this team. I don't believe that we should fire him now. I think that that would just be dumb at 4-2. But I think this organization really needs to take a look at this once we get into the offseason if it ends the same way, and that it always does. But going to Bobby Babbage, look, we can go out there and we could say, hey, we are injured to all hell, right? You had Benford get knocked up. You had Matt Milano out. You had Bernard ended up leaving the game where Joe Andreessen was out there for a little bit. You had Daquan Jones blow a calf muscle during pregame warmups. That is absolutely nuts. Maxwell Harrison, who had no history of a knee injury at all coming out of college, gets an LCL sprain in training camp. He's gone. Dorian Strong, who looked good, he's gone. But something's got to give, right? Like something has to give. Like something needs to be shaken up. I don't care about injuries. If Sean McDermott needs to start taking over play calling, he needs to start taking over play calling, because that's the only time I've ever seen a Buffalo Bills defense look at least semi-reasonable, was when Sean McDermott that one year was calling plays for the defense. Any other time, man, it is just so difficult for this team to pinpoint a quality defensive coordinator. So maybe Sean McDermott needs to start taking over play calling, because something is not working with Bobby Babbage at this point. It really is not how it plays. But chat, welcome to another edition of Therapy Tuesdays. All right. Overreaction Tuesdays. I'm here to be your therapist for the afternoon. Okay. Or the morning rather. So please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up sign. It's the easiest way to show love over here on the channel. I want to propel this out to the YouTube algorithm because I feel like we need more Bills fans in here so we can start having conversations. It's going to be a long and gruesome bye week. It may be a while for the Buffalo Bills can celebrate a victory Monday. God, I hope that we could beat the Panthers. God, I hope that we can make some moves during this bye week and at least make me feel like we're serious and we're recognizing these problems and we're going out to try and fix them. But hit that like button right now. We have an absurd amount of people in here already. 278 of you guys. Hit that thumbs up. 278 thumbs up signs. Hit it to the universe and roll call in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia extends. What corner of the globe, what corner of the United States are you tuning in from? Do not be shy. I'm talking to each and every single one of you, including the lurkers, including all over the place. Guys, I need to give a giant shout out to one of my favorite brands I've ever worked with in my entire life. Because you want to know why? Man, I judge a man by the boots that are on his feet. I introduced to you Brunt Workwear. Now, a lot of my buddies are in the blue collar businesses, and they were always telling me that Brunt is the up and coming work boot brand on the face of the planet. And soon as when I told them that I was partnering with these guys, they had nothing but glowing recommendations. Anytime I work with the brand, I want to make sure that it's an actual quality product. And when I got to tell you that this is not sacrificing comfort whatsoever for durability, it is the perfect mix all across the board right now, ladies and gentlemen. So when I end up looking, and so I'm going to go on ahead and tell you a little bit more about this here. Bear with me. With Brunt Workwear, folks, was tired of the workwear brands out cutting the corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots and don't hold up. So they built something better, boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off of Brunt when you use my code DonMafia at checkout. That is one word, DONMAFIA. Just head on over to bruntworkwear.com, use the code DonMafia, and you are good to go. And after your order, they will ask you where you heard from Brunt. Do me a favor and say that you heard from it from Don Mafia, from the Don Mafia Report, baby. Shout out to Brunt Workwear. It is the only brand of boot that you guys need to be taking advantage of. Thank you so much, Brunt, for being a proud partner of this show. Damn. Guys, where's the roll call at in the chat, guys? Roll call in the building. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's get into business here. Bear with me. I just need to do something with the description of this video real fast, and we'll be good. All right, folks. So the Don Mafia, so the Brunt link is currently in the chat right now, folks. Go on ahead and check out Brunt. Best boot game in the world. All right, folks, look at that. We have Tuscaloosa, Alabama is in the building. We have Towanda, Pennsylvania is in the building. We have Dew Blue Jays on Luis. Let's talk about that. Yeah, beat the Panthers. El Paso, Texas. Fort Myers, Florida. Niagara Falls, North Sentinel Island. Be careful out there. We have Niagara Falls, New York. Greenville, South Carolina is in the building. Miami, Florida is in the building. Dan's Closet. We need to start tanking for Arch. Ontario, Canada is in the building. Let's go. New Jersey is in the building. New Jersey, once again. Look at that, man. Stop spamming, though. Jacksonville, North Carolina, originally from Buffalo, New York. Vernon Hills, Illinois. Let's go on ahead and talk about this, man. Let's see what's going on. Lynn, quit shilling and talk football. Dude, leave this channel. Dude, leave this channel. Dude, leave. I have no interest in engaging with you anymore. Just dip. I'm not going to babysit you anymore. Get out of here. Find somebody else that's a hell of a lot less entertaining than me. I'm done. Quit. Get done. City of Alexander is in the building. Can Bede trade for himself? Ontario, California. Delray Beach for the winter. Cape Coral, Florida. Farmington, New Hampshire. Rochester, New York. Canista, New York. St. Augustine, Florida. Dirty Dan, like Zebot called you yesterday. Greer, South Carolina. He's calling me Dirty Dan over here, man. We're going to have to see. Go Bills, Salt Lake City. Good morning, Dan from Colorado. Massachusetts is in the building. JTL. Let me guess. It's part of the process. Here's a question. How long does the process take going on a decade? I've hopped on the bandwagon. I'm good. I'm good with it all, man. We have Connor Hanks. I hope that the Buffalo Bills will win the forward on Sunday or win the bye week, if you will. We have Jersey City, New Jersey. Claremont, Florida is in the building. I'm not doing that. I'm not sure I can watch this team until we trade for a wide receiver. Now you can tell everyone that I was right about Josh Allen. He does not make receivers better. He is a game manager at this point. If not for his running back, he would be a below average quarterback. It's not so much that. Like, he has had way more impressive games than he has ever had in his entire career. He has had more impressive games than bad games. And that's not something that you can say about really any quarterback in the NFL outside of Patrick Mahomes. Every single quarterback has a bad game. Like, Josh typically is good for about one or two. Right now, he's just limited. He's limited with what's around him. If you can't trust the guy to get open downfield, of course you're going to try and squeeze some throws like downfield. Like, so that first throw, like first play at scrimmage, he was completely fine. A game manager is somebody that has only ever proven to be a game manager. I have seen Josh Allen take over games before. A game manager is not somebody that has highlight games like that. So I know you're trying to get under my skin with that question, but it's just not true, and it makes you look dumb. Yet he had a bad game, but like, that's all it is. Go Bills from Knoxville, Tennessee, but from there, 716. Good morning from Covina. Go Bills. Philadelphia is in the building. Dan, we have to throw away Babbage forever. He's not feeling it right now. In fact, I need to go ahead and get my buddy Tommy in here. I totally forgot to give him the link. There he is, pal. My bad, brother. There you go. Boston, Massachusetts. Go. What's up, Greg? How you doing? Garrett, I'm from Olean. Look at that. We need an offensive-minded head coach like Cliff Kingsbury. We have Chattanooga. First Glenn sighting in over a year. As a Pats fan, Buffalo needs a number one wide receiver who can get open. And the Falcons game proved that. And the GM Bean scolding WGR 550 hosts for asking about no number one wide receiver a few months ago backfired spectacularly. I mean, yeah, dude. Saw your X video. Hang in there. I'm absolutely pissed off. I can appreciate that. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up sign. Subscribe to the channel. And let's get into business right now because I am not doing well. Tommy, what up, dude? You're muted, brother.
Man, am I muted? I shouldn't be muted. Should be good.
No, not anymore, man. You're good. You're good.
Okay,
so I can hear you.
All right, good.
Loud and clear.
All right, good. So, Dan, the Bills, they ruined it again for me. I can't say Happy Victory Tuesday today.
No.
Oh, this team is killing me, man. This team is killing me. This is listen, guys, the reason why I'm laughing is because that's all we can do at this point. Like, this team is a roller coaster. This team's been a roller coaster since I've been watching since 1989 of emotion, right? Like heartbreak and just everything, right? And it just continues on. It's tough, but I've gotten used to it, right? You get tough skin and it is what it is. But Dan, our flaws have been exposed over the last 2 weeks. Now, going into that game last night, I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what, there's going to be a few things that could happen here. Either last week's loss was just a bad game and we correct things and we win and we look impressive and the receivers step up and we don't have that off, that bye week talk where we're like, oh, we need help for Josh Allen. But that wasn't the case, right? That wasn't the case at all. Last night goes to show you again that Allen needs more help, and we do need a 1. Doesn't need to be an alpha, but it needs to be a 1. I keep going back to last year. We were in the same spot last year, guys, where we won 3 games in a row. We were averaging 30 points, I believe, a game at that point as well. Everything was fine and dandy until it wasn't, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm buying into it, Tommy. And so I'm buying into it. Oh, I have no idea what happened to my boy real fast, but let's see what's going on. Dan, Tommy, my 2 favorite content creators. Morning, fellas. Don't worry. I think Tommy's internet may have went down here for a hot second. We're going to welcome him back once his internet gets better. A1 that isn't full of drama. It will be tough. Who is this bozo talking? He don't know ball. Jimmy Joe K9E live from elementary school. All right. He's digging in to his Lunchable nachos. Mom still pays his bills. Look at that. Anyway, let's go ahead and lock into this. Tommy, what up, dude? What happened? There he is.
I think the Bills are just, they don't want you to hear what I got to say. Apparently not.
No, dude. Listen, so they ended up just like screwing up your internet, and there's like he's speaking way too much truth at this point.
Right. Cut him off immediately. Right. So, oh, Dan, man. But yeah, the flaws were exposed last night, and it's just not just the receiver room. It's the defense as well, right? The defense got exposed last night. Once again, we can't stop the run. Right, it's a continuous problem here in Buffalo. We can't tackle well. We have a CB2 problem, a major problem. We just got we have a lot of flaws that need to be corrected. And once again, we talked about this a few weeks ago, right? Like, we've been down this road before, right? Where we lost a few games, we bounce back, and we get into the playoffs. But the end result is what we are all wanting to be good, right? Which is a Super Bowl. And this current team is just not going to do it, Dan. And I'm afraid that an addition or 2 still may not do it. And that's really where the problem is, because we want a Super Bowl, right? And what do the Bills keep doing every offseason when we want them to do certain moves and get Josh more help, or add a true 1 tech, or add another corner? Like, we don't. Or we go out and get old aging vets that makes no sense, right? Like the Trey White. Listen, Trey White was cool and all, but as a mentor, I mean, it's a guy from maybe the locker room, to help out the young guys, but it's not working. And I don't know what the Bills can do at this point, other than they need to explore some trades and possibly some free agents. And I know, some people are on the fence about Asante Samuel. He's a free agent, I believe, still out there. Look, what is it going to hurt? At this point, Dan, I'm at the point where, right, like at this point, just do what you got to do, whatever you got to, because it ain't working anyway. So if he's willing to sign a 1-year deal, get it done. Who cares? And maybe, just maybe, he works out, and now you got your guy, and then you could talk about extension in the offseason. But sitting on your hands, not doing anything, thinking this team's going to be all right, is a terrible, terrible thing to do. And I saw a tweet somebody posted about Brandon Beane when he got all upset about, the receivers when he was asked on the radio station. And they're talking about the targets, receivers, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 11 yards. Keon Coleman, Palmer, 2 receptions, 60. Curtis Samuel, hurt again. Elijah Moore, 2 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards. So how's that working out? Right? It's not. It's bad, right? This receiver room, when we talk about everybody eats, nobody's eating. It's not, because they're not. I'll tell you what, it's a combination of a lot of things, Dan. I think it's a combination of the talent, and it's a combination, and it also is Joe Brady. So I don't think Brady's putting them in the best positions also to succeed. And I also think the receivers just aren't that good. But I will say this: I'm very curious if like an Elijah Moore went to Kansas City with his speed, would Andy Reid know how to use him effectively in their offense? And I'm going to tell you probably, because look at that team over there. Look at the players they got over there. Thornton. I mean, and they've used them pretty good. Guy couldn't make a team elsewhere, right? So I just feel like it's a combination of Brady not understanding what he has on the roster. And look, if Brady doesn't really, if Brady feels like he's doing the best he can, then he needs to go to Brandon Beane and go, bro, I'm doing everything I can. They're just not executing. Well, then you need to go out and get another receiver. I mean, it's simple as that.
Yeah. No, dude, I feel like I was in denial last year, especially because we were able to make it work, score 30 points like it was nobody's business with the supporting cast that we had. And I think it may have had to do with, hey, not a lot of film on this new look offense, right? Not knowing where Josh Allen is going to go to the ball. Now that you have a full year of film out on the field, I think that a lot of defensive coordinators were able to sort of pick up his tendencies of in what particular situations is he going to be targeting that said player. And the guys really aren't getting open. Like, funny enough, and just the Buffalo Bills luck, like finally when Josh Palmer is going out there and finally looking good.
He gets hurt.
First play of the game, absolutely incredible catch, incredible throw. That one, dig route right in the middle of the field, like did his damn thing. And then, of course, he ends up getting hurt. What pissed me off, I think, the most last night was where the hell is your top 5 paid running back in the league? Why did he only get 17 carries? Why did you not have him out there on third down? Find it funny enough when the only 2 scoring drives we had was when James Cook was out there getting 5 to 6 yards per carry. Like, guy was looking effective. I have no idea why he, stepped away from James Cook last night. And it's not even like this game was out of reach at any point last night.
Right.
It wasn't. Thank God that Drake London stepped out of bounds right before that.
Yes.
Things would have been a hell of a lot worse than it was. But Atlanta was trying to gift us this game. Atlanta was trying to gift us the game last night. We can give as much crap as we want to this defense. And trust me, there are a lot of things that need to be fixed on this defense. I would even suggest just telling Sean McDermott to go on ahead and start calling plays again, because that's the only time in the history of this Bills regime that I can remember that our defense looks somewhat reasonable, right? But when you have a defense that holds a team to 23 and 24 points for the past 2 weeks, and your offense is incapable of putting up 30, which is something that has been a part of their DNA, it's the offense which is the problem, in my opinion. We know what the defense is, Tommy. We know what it is.
Yeah.
We know what it is, man. But and especially since we have no excuse for the offensive side of the football either, because as far as injuries compared to the defensive side of the football and injuries compared to the offensive side of the football, no excuse. 0. We have an MVP right now. And we're not able to salvage 30 points. And we're not able, after we hold the Falcons to 3 points in the second half, like we couldn't string together 2 scoring drives. It drives me nuts.
So here's the deal, though.
Go ahead.
Yeah, here's the deal, though, with that, right? We played two mediocre teams. If we're going to be real here, Atlanta Falcons, yes, they have the number 1 defense in the NFL right now, but their offense isn't anything special. Same thing with the Patriots. The Patriots are a 8 to 9 win team. That team right there, both teams actually, we should have no problem in beating, right? And that's the problem. So our offense, when they faced a good defense, because the Patriots had a good run defense, the Falcons had the number 1 defense. We couldn't score. We couldn't score points, right? And our defense, though they did a good job, they should have done a good job. The Patriots offense is not that great, and neither is the Falcons. So if they listen, if the defense, that's the best they can do, and the offense, that's the best they could do against a better defense, we're in trouble because this is mediocre teams. When we face a team like the Chiefs or Philly, right, or Tampa, we're going to be in some trouble because those are better offenses. They're going to score more points than 23 and 24, right? Our defense is just not it's not good enough to hold those better offenses to what they did over the last 2 weeks. That's the problem. And if our offense can't get right, we're in some big fucking trouble. Big trouble. And I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. I've been saying it pretty much all season, Dan. I'm done with the defense. At this point, stack up the offense, right? And we're just going to have to honestly just outscore everybody. And we're going to have to be in the mid-30s. I mean, like last year, if you guys go back to last year, when we kind of ran into this funk, we were at about 26.8 a game, and we went up to 33 over the last 11 games. I mean, a major jump. And if you recall, Brandon Beane, that's what he talked about, right? In the offseason. What are you guys complaining about? We were second in the league in scoring. We were number one in the last, 11 games, right? 33 a game, right? Yep. Because that's what it took. If we didn't, we probably wouldn't have those wins. A lot of those wins we would have lost. So this defense is this team is going to go as far as Josh Allen could take it. And if that's the case, we need better help around him. That's as simple as that. And you're right about James Cook. James Cook should be used a lot more because why? He's our only other guy that's a weapon, a true weapon on this offense. Outside of that, we got B and B plus players. I like Shakir. I do. But he's not there yet. He can get there. He could be better. And maybe they haven't really, maybe Brady hasn't really done it. Yeah, maybe. But Brady, I think I would like to see him on the outside more. I think Brady could dial it up a little bit more or draw up a little bit more schemes for him, a little bit better routes. But maybe you're right. But either way, we need more talent on the offense because the defense is, I can't do it no more. Like, it just seems like we're constantly talking about what we need to do with the defense, but it's the same old story. It's the same fucking story. We, season after season, it's like Groundhog season, right? We go through this, torture of, being a 12 to 13 win team, getting into the playoffs, losing in the playoffs, talking about the defense in the offseason. What do we need to do? Next, new season, same results, off season, same talk. It's the same thing. Let's just pile up on offense and just go for it, man. Allen needs help, plain and simple. He can't do it himself.
So the other day you said that Buffalo is number one in receiver separation. Could have fooled me. Shakir was technically number two as far as separation. You could have fooled me.
As a slot, though, there's a difference. Our perimeter receivers, and right, and you're not also talking about early separation. You got to remember, so that's the problem. So right now, Dan, if you're seeing over the last 2 weeks, even 3 weeks, even Miami did it well. They're playing press man and being aggressive at the line. So they're pressuring Allen with blitzes, playing press man, being physical at the line, and our receivers can't get early separation, meaning Allen can't get rid of the ball in time, and that's why he's either getting sacked or just trying anything, at that time to get away from the pressure, buying more time for these guys to get open. Like, that's what's going on right now. So you saw it last night in Atlanta, and that's also on Joe Brady. They're blitzing. They're being aggressive. Why aren't you calling a play that counters their blitz? We're not. We're just Allen's getting the ball, hiking the ball, and pressure's right in his face, nowhere to go because all the receivers are downfield, and they're not creating separation. So that's a problem. It's a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Whiskey comes in, says everybody starves. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Everyone's absolutely starving right now when it comes into it. So I'll tell you what. So you're talking about a number one here, and I desperately need this team to make a move. Fun fact. Did you know that if AJ Brown, wherever he decides to play this year, or say that Howie does want to move on from him, he's clearly unhappy. I think all signs are pointing that he's going to find a different team. right now,
Mm-hmm.
he would only cost that team $790,000. For every other game that he is on the Philadelphia Eagles, that ends up decreasing. The Buffalo Bills only have about $2 million worth to spend at this point. In my opinion, damn right. If you can send over a first-round pick, because God knows we have not been lucky with a first-round pick. We have not had a good first-round pick since Josh Allen. I'd probably say
that's accurate. That's accurate. I think Ed Oliver is on the fence on that one.
Yeah.
It's still out, but he's not consistent enough. But go ahead.
Send a first round for AJ Brown.
Absolutely. Why not?
Send a first. Send a third.
What do we do? What are we doing with them anyways?
At this point, and so at this point, I would even encourage the Buffalo Bills to do it. So to play defense, so that he doesn't end up on the New England Patriots, or he doesn't end up on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
If AJ Brown goes anywhere, that Howie Roseman is not going to send him to an NFC team.
Right.
He's not going to an NFC team. I think Brandon Beane needs to pull the trigger on this one. Next year's cap hit would be at around $23 million. Who cares? Who cares at this point, man? Why are we getting so frugal with this overall cap space where we're just riddled with injuries on the defensive side of the football, even when healthy? I suppose it's better. And stop coping in with all of these draft picks right now because I'm sorry, this year we are playing with basically the exact same team as last year because outside of Deion Walker and Jackson Haas, this draft class has been a complete letdown. Granted, and so a lot of them is because of injuries. And maybe it's just an injury cloud that just haunts this team. It pisses me off, but get me AJ Brown.
I agree.
He's not going to do it, and Shaheed's not going to do it. And as far as Olave, some people are talking about Olave, guys. Look, we're talking about bringing an injury-prone player already to an injury-prone roster. I'm good on that.
That's a problem too when it comes. Yeah,
he has
talent. He has talent, but you're right. He can't. Do we want another Curtis Samuel here? I mean, it's potentially could happen. If history repeats itself with that guy. But I'm gonna tell you right there. You look, Cooper was nothing special. He's not an AJ Brown. He's not one of these top receivers. However, just the fact that we got him last year, we went from week 1 through 6.
Changed everything.
Yeah. Average passing. Everything. Yeah. Average passing, Dan, week 1 through 6 without him. We averaged 186.3 average passing yards per game. After 250.6 average points per game, 27.5 to 32.7. That's not a coincidence. I don't like when people are like, oh, but AJ Brown, Cooper barely, so he wasn't on the field that much, or snap percentage was low. Listen, I don't believe in coincidence. If you go somewhere, you're hired somewhere, and you go into that department gets better, whatever, sales go up, whatever you're doing, and they go, Dan only really comes in a couple times a week. It doesn't matter. The stats went up. That tells me whatever happened, his addition made this team better. Regardless of what anyone else says, I don't care. And listen, if you bring in a guy like an AJ Brown, he most definitely is going to improve this team. Don't talk to me about scheme that he won't fit, about the everybody eats garbage that's being thrown in your face. That all that is, guys, and I keep telling you, it's because we lost Diggs and they wanted you to believe, hey, we're all right. Everybody eats. We're going to be all right. We don't need to go out and pay a receiver or draft a receiver in the first couple rounds because we have Josh Allen and we believe he can make everybody great. And that's not going to work. Even the great Tom Brady had a Hall of Fame tight end, right? Even Patrick Mahomes has a future Hall of Fame tight end. He has people to work with. And he also has a future Hall of Fame head coach who's an offensive genius who knows how to work with the guys that are subpar. We do not have that. We don't have that luxury, Dan. We don't have an Andy Reid as our head coach where you can go, well, okay, I got Elijah Moore, I got Palmer, I got all these Keenan. I think I can make it work. And he probably would. I'll be honest with you. He probably can make it work. Brady's not. Right? So let's get somebody in here that can help. Plain and simple.
See, a strategy that like I bought into for a very long time was just like, oh, like look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They are able to make it work with a lackluster like supporting cast.
Right.
It's because they have perhaps one of the best offensive minds ever to call a game. And now I'm slowly starting to realize I'm just like, we have Sean McDermott, a defensive minded head coach, and he can't even get the defense to operate appropriately. And so at this point, like, look, so I understand that this defense is injured. I get it. And I understand that these guys are not always like known for their first team reps and stuff. But like a lot of the gaffes and mistakes I've been seeing from this team, like tackling issues, that's coaching, dude.
Absolutely.
Like that's coaching there.
Fundamentals. He preaches fundamentals, Dan. Right? We hear it all the time. And
if somebody is on the 53-man roster, like Sean, maybe you should spend a little bit more time with your second and your third strings, especially since, half of your defense is going to be injured by week 5 each and every single year.
Correct.
Like maybe you should put a little bit more like time with that. Maybe you should have the second team running against the first team offense almost always during practice.
Or maybe you should draft players. Right, different players.
Maybe we should have the first string offense go against the second string offense so that they can gain some confidence. All right, because, dude,
we're undersized too, though. That's McDermott. He wants to go. He wants a fast defense.
Yeah,
and
it didn't hurt Atlanta.
It didn't
hurt Atlanta.
Yeah,
and Atlanta is the smallest defense in the NFL.
They might be picking the right players, and we're just simply not. But they also they were picking in the top 10 a lot of years, so they have top 10 talent. We're picking in later rounds, so it's I get it there a little bit. They also have better talent, but it doesn't matter. We're playing. McDermott's constantly getting players, and he's playing them out of position. It's a constant thing. These guys are getting banged up because of it, right? We got safeties going to linebacker. I mean, and we were like, damn, I wonder why is this guy getting hurt all the time? Because he's playing out of position, right? It's crazy.
Someone just said, don't worry, Bills Mafia, and McDaniel will be looking for a job in a few weeks. He should be a great fit. I would take him as an offensive coordinator any day of the week.
Yeah, he has a mind for it. He needs to get off the whippets, though, whatever's going on.
Yeah. Stop wearing the capris as well, right?
Yeah, that won't fly.
And for the love, that is all as of holy right now. But, dude, and so I sit here, like, we're in agreement. I don't think that Brandon Beane's going to make this move. I just think that we're strapped financially, and I just think that they're going to, like, try and, like, go on a run. But, like, right before you got in, 4 out of the past 5 seasons, Buffalo has suffered 2 embarrassing, ugly losses at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Why does this feel different to me? Because maybe it's recency bias, because I'm pretty sure that I felt this way last year when we dropped to the Ravens and the Houston Texans back-to-back. I felt similar like when we got the doors blown off of us back-to-back from the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles in 2020. Same year where we lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1, and then we lost to like some other team like really, really badly. I think what it is that I haven't been able to hang my hat on like a dominant performance beforehand. Because last year, what was different, at least Buffalo proved to me that they could be a dominant football team. At least they proved to me that they could. By those first 3 games last year where like we were winning like 35-3, 35-10. So I think I was able to rest my head a little bit and say, hey, you know what? Like this team, it was clearly a slump. And I typically hang my hat on the fact that, hey, I know this team can get it done. It's just a slump. But like outside of a single quarter all year, I have not seen this team make me prove to myself that they can get it done. So like now I'm looking at this schedule and I don't know what to expect. And because we're going to a Carolina Panthers team that beat the Atlanta Falcons 30-0.
Right. Right.
just
And beat
a
the
couple of
Dolphins.
weeks ago.
And they beat the Dolphins too, right? I think they beat the Dolphins, right? So
Yeah.
not that the Dolphins are anything special, but you're right. Like there's nothing that I've seen so far that makes, that is like, man, this Bills team still could be dangerous. Like it's, it's played even the wins they've been good, but they've been kind of, the offense has been clunky all year. It's been, it's weird. We have really good opening drives. Most of the time we have really clean looking drives. And then we just go into this major funk. Right. And then we have a nice second half drive. And then we go right back into this. We're stuck in the mud. Everything seems difficult. And that's the other thing too. Everything seems difficult for this team. Everything. Nothing is easy. Nothing. So you're right. I don't know. This kind of feels like the 2023 season when we were trailing Miami. We wound up firing Dorsey. Brady took over. You remember that? And then we finally went on a roll and we wound up winning the division last week of the season. But yeah, I don't know, man. Right now, you're right. I don't see Bean trading for Brown because that's just too big of a trade for him. And God forbid he pulls a trigger on something like that. Financially, though, we can afford it. Every team can afford it. Listen, if you want a player, there's ways around it. They can always make it work. So I don't really go by we don't have the money. There's always a way. And Brandon Bean is very good at maneuvering contracts around to make something work. So I don't want to hear that it's about the money. That's the only reason. Like, no way. Like, trust me, he can make it work if he really wanted to. But I will say this about Bean. Over the last 2 years, he has made trades, and he's made trades for need. So Rasul Douglas was in need at that time when we were struggling at cornerback. Remember that, CB2? And then last year with Cooper, when we were in the same spot, when we were all talking about we need help. And if you remember, Adams went first and then Cooper went second in that trade. Remember? And everyone was like, we're not going to make any move. He wanted up making a move, and it helped. So I don't think he'll sit on his hands. But the question is, who's he going to get? Right? Is he going to go all out and get a Brown? Probably not, Dan. Is he going to maybe try to get Olave, which is a guy that we're all on the fence about? I mean, he could help, but he also can get hurt, and we're a trade that's useless.
So he could also get another concussion and retire.
Right. So exactly. So it's like one of those deals. Dude, does he go out in free agency? Does he pick up a Samuel, like I said earlier? Is there other players that he could pick? Simmons, I think, is still available if he needs help at safety, right? Like, because Taylor Rapp's not doing it either this year, guys. Like, I feel like Bishop's playing better than Rapp at this point, right? Christian Benford has also taken a step back. Like, a lot of guys have regressed this year. That's also why you're seeing what you're seeing. There's guys aren't performing well. The only guy that's performing well, Dan, from his new contract, to be honest with you, is James Cook. He's the only one that I could see going, hey, that guy's actually performing better than his contract. Like, you know what I mean? So other than that, who's performing like at a high level where you're like, yeah, he's earned his contract? Like,
yeah.
Who?
So my boy Donut just popped in. What's up, Donut? It's a hope all is well, my friend. He said, Gabe Davis. Look, I am open to anything. I am open to anything.
Me too.
One thing that I will give Gabe Davis is that he is very good off script. He is very good off script. I would be, dude, you know what, Tommy? Listen, like, we started this first hour of this episode shitting on the Buffalo Bills. Well deserved. Well deserved. Let's talk about fixing this damn team, all right? In an alternate reality, Tommy and I are heads of the front office in Buffalo, which I actually encourage they take into serious consideration, all right? Our lines are open. Pagula, our lines are open right now.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on how to fix this team. Number one, and I'm going to start off with realistic fixes, all right? Number one, Sean McDermott, start calling defensive plays. Just put Babbage on the side. He's not ready, right? I know there's injuries, but sometimes I think that you need to shake things up. I think this defense needs a shake up. Have Sean McDermott call defensive plays. Number one, super easy fix. He's concerned that it takes away from him being a quality head coach. Who cares? you're good at being a defensive coordinator. Head coach is a different conversation, but that much you are good at is calling defensive plays. Sean McDermott, you take over calling defensive plays. Number 2, bench Tre'Davious White. Bench Taylor Rapp. Anything could be better than what we have been seeing from both of those guys out there. Put Poyer out there for the time being, okay? Put him out there. Sign Justin Simmons. He's still a free agent. I know no teams have had any interest in the guy, but at least he gives some sort of ball hawking capability that can get us back into our turnover ways on the defensive side of the football, right? Welcome back, Ogunjobi and Michael Hoyt. Find a way to get them cooking immediately to continue to add pressure. We're still getting pressure on the quarterback, which is great, right? But it's afterwards, go out and make a trade, right? Send over a first. I could give a shit if we sent over our first and second next year for A.J. Brown. I could care less at this point.
Right.
And because we all know that Brandon Beane's solid from 4 to 7, 3rd through 6th round. Hey, man, I mean, we're going to find some diamonds in the rough. Like, just go on ahead and look at Deion Walker. Look at Hawes, right? Both of those fools were between, 4th and 6th, right? Like, that's where Brandon Beane cooks. Send that over. Get A.J. Brown over to this team. Even if, right, him being out there alone is a distraction, that opens up everybody else. Number 3, and last but not least, use James Cook. Use him. Use him. Like, we have a schedule coming up right now where we are going up against some of the worst run defenses in the league right now. Even the Kansas City game, they have advanced metrics, worst run defense in the NFL. Worst. This better be a James Cook game. All right? And the Carolina Panthers game, no excuse. Hop out there. Show me that this team has a pulse. Because 6-2, I'm feeling pretty damn good. I'm feeling pretty damn good about 6-2. Followed by Miami, 7-2. That's where this team needs to be. Thoughts on how to fix this team if you were the GM, moves that need to be made.
Well,
where do I begin?
There's quite
a little warm up on coffee.
There's quite a few, Dan. For one, you're right. You got to use James Cook more in the offense. I just said it, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. He's your only other star right now, star player, your weapon, your only other weapon on offense besides Josh Allen. At least a go-to, at least an effective weapon in James Cook. You paid him all that money. Use him. Use him. Run his ass to the ground. I don't care. You paid him, like I said. Get everything you can from him. And look, he's young. He doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires. He'll be just fine. That's one. I agree with that 100%. 2, you got to get a receiver. You have to. We can't keep playing around with this. You've given it a shot now, 2 seasons now almost, right? Of everybody eats. It's not working. The guys you brought in are not working. Maybe they'll work if you get a better receiver, and that could help them now get more separation because defenses are now focused on a better receiver. And by the way, a better receiver will also help the run game, right? Right now, defenses are stacking the box. They know what we're going to do, right? They know we're going to run James Cook, and they're trying to, basically clamp down the run game and then dare us to pass it. And we can't right now. We're stuck. So we definitely need help in the receiving game. And A.J. Brown he's the number 1 guy out there right now in the trade market, supposedly. And we don't know that for sure, but it seems to be the case. And if you have an opportunity to get him, do whatever you can to get him. It's enough is enough. You know what we could do when we haven't won. We've seen it. We've seen it with Diggs, right? We've seen it with even Cooper, who was formerly a number 1, but got respected as a number 1 when he came here. And you saw how better the offense was. On defense, at this point, man, you have to make changes. You have to get Trey White off the field. And I think last night he actually went off the field a few times. I think Ingram came in for him. Even Poyer was out there at times. That tells me everything I need to know. There's a problem there. And they're probably finally understanding and realizing Trey can't be out there. He's not reliable. And I don't know if any guys on this team are the guy who are we going to go to? Clearly, Ingram also struggled. So you got to go out there and find somebody. And if that's a Samuel, go ahead and pick him up. It is what it is. See what he wants and figure it out, or make a trade. I mean, there's going to be a lot of sellers, so that's the other thing. You have to get a CB2. That is a priority. And as far as McDermott calling the defense, I don't mind so much. I mean, at this point, I almost feel like he still kind of does at times. He did it with Frazier. He took over defensive play calling a few games when he felt Frazier wasn't doing a good job. So it really wouldn't be a big deal if he did it now. And who's going to complain? Bobby Babich? I mean, he's going to, Bobby Babich is just another guy he could just fire. I mean, that's just what McDermott does. He's going to throw him under the bus anyway. So, or have your guru and Ryan Nielsen, the guy that everybody thought was going to make this big difference, promote him and have him call defensive plays. If we really feel like that guy's the guy that is going to change this defense, right? Because that's all I kept hearing, right? I don't know about you, Dan, but Ryan Nielsen, he's going to be the guy that watch this defense this year. Okay, I'm watching, and it's the same bullshit defense that I've seen over the last 3 years. So
same one.
Same one. So if he's so great, and this guy's the guru, okay, promote his ass, bring him up to the box, and have him call defense. And let's see if this is any better. If not, McDermott, take over, because this is bad. And you're a defensive-minded head coach, and we're still talking about defense in year 9. So that's what I would do. I mean, other than that, man, I think there's just a lot more other flaws. However, if you can at least correct a few, that might make up for the other flaws. You get what I'm saying? We just have so many right now. It's just hard to overcome the amount of them. You know what I mean? Like, every team has flaws, guys. That's one thing I want to say. Every team has flaws. And I think Colin Cowher said it last night too, but they have other things that make up for them. We don't. We just do not. And that's the problem. All we have is Allen and Cook. I'm with it, but let me tell you, Dan, I've done so many videos on for the last 3 seasons on letting McDermott go. I can't do it no more. I've wasted my breath. Bagula is not going to get rid of him.
I'm done.
Anytime soon. So the talk is just like, you know what I mean? Like, what can we do? At this point, as fans, we have to come to the realization that he's not going anywhere. And that photo, of the new stadium and him in the gold shovel, it ain't Back to the Future. It ain't going to disappear, right? Where that photo he's there, right? That photo's staying. And I don't know if I don't think that seat is hot at all. It's nice and comfortable and chill, man. So if anyone thinks he's on the hot seat, you're really mistakenly wrong. Pagula, listen, owners like him cares about the money. He cares about, filling the seats, and we're still technically a good team. We are a winning team. And I think that's honestly all he cares about. And that's it. And that's sad to say, but it's the reality of it. And I mean, honestly, Dan, at this point, that's why I keep saying, fuck it, go offense, because that's all we have. Like, really, his team's going to go as far as Allen could take it. I don't trust him, and I don't trust the defense. So that's where I stand. That's where I stand, man.
Dude, I have been a McDermott sympathizer for years.
Oh, Dan.
I have been a McDermott sympathizer but like, you do bring up a good point. I think half of the reason why I've been such a McDermott sympathizer is because exactly what you said. I don't think Pagula is going to let him go. I don't think that Pagula is going to let him go. The only way that Sean McDermott is going to be off of this team this offseason is as if somehow he misses the playoffs. And folks, make no mistake, all right? We're pissed off at our Buffalo Bills team right now. And we are a bad football team, at least throughout the past 2 weeks. But we're not a bad football team, so where I say that we're missing the playoffs. We're probably going to make the playoffs. It's just how it is. It's how the Buffalo Bills DNA is coming. How we've been playing, I would not be surprised if we get dog walked in the first round, right? I would not be surprised in the slightest.
Right.
But I think McDermott, at least from the Pagula's perspective, he has the insurance policy of, oh, look at my roster. And so we have the most injuries in the NFL right now. This is clearly a fluke. So he has that excuse. The only way that McDermott's going to be gone is if this team completely implodes. 7-10, 8-9, or something like that. And as pissed off as I am at this team, I just don't see that happening this year.
I don't even think I think if we miss the playoffs, he's still our coach. I think the only way he goes if Josh Allen actually steps up and says, I can't do this no more. I think Josh Allen's the key. But Josh Allen doesn't throw anybody under the bus. Josh Allen didn't even say bad things about Kelvin Benjamin, right?
No.
So he's not going to say a bad – you think he's going to say a bad word about Sean McDermott? Listen, Sean McDermott, he's been here a long time, right? It's 9 seasons. A lot of the players are still here for a long time. They've been around. They got a lot of respect for the guy, because obviously 9 years knowing somebody's your coach, like they're not going to throw this dude on the bus, even if they truly believe that he's not the guy, right? They're just not going to do that. But dude, like I go back to like Rex Ryan. For as bad as everyone, Rex Ryan, he's trash, bad head coach. Rex Ryan got to the same amount of AFC championship games with Mark Sanchez than as Sean McDermott with Josh Allen. That tells you everything you need to know. Everything. So I promise you guys, I swear to you, if Rex Ryan was our head coach, there'd be no difference. We would be a playoff team every year. It would be a good team because we have Josh Allen. I mean, truthfully, if Josh Allen was on his team, Sean McDermott would have been done fired. He would have been fired.
Yeah.
And if he was our defensive coordinator, he would have been fired years ago. So, I mean, these are facts. Like he's not. Listen, he got very lucky. And that's why I feel like he goes and hugs Josh Allen after games and all that. He knows the deal. He's knows
like, you're buying
the deal.
Job security, man.
Yeah, you are buying
job security, pal.
Absolutely. He has to know this. And, it's unfortunate that McDermott hired Brandon Beane because Brandon Beane, let's be real, he doesn't even have, I don't think he has the trigger or, I don't think he has the say if to fire McDermott. Because usually it's the other way around. Usually GMs are hired first. They hire the coach. McDermott, this is McDermott's team, guys. Like, I hate to tell you that. Like, he hired Brandon Beane, right? It was his decision. So Bagula put a lot of, basically gave the keys to McDermott, not Brandon Beane. So you guys say what you want about Brandon Beane, but this is a McDermott team, plain and simple. And Beane is all he's doing is getting the ingredients for Sean McDermott. That's it. So I don't think McDermott's going anywhere anytime soon. I think it would have to take more than one losing season. I think it would have to take at least 2, at least. And then I could possibly see them moving on from Sean McDermott and possibly Brandon Beane as well, because they're a duo, right? So, but other than that, he ain't going anywhere. Not anytime soon. I don't think so, which is unfortunate because I would love a new voice in the room. I would love an offensive-minded head coach at least. I just think his voice is stale. I think his scheme is played out, and it is what it is. I think, like I said, we're hanging on strings here because of Josh Allen. That's it. But the problem is, Dan, though, we got away with it for so long. But here's the problem. You got teams like the Patriots who are rebuilding and doing it the right way. You got other teams in the AFC now that are starting to come up, like the Colts, and they're making noise, right? And the Buffalo Bills are staying put. We're the staying team. We have not done anything better. We're just kind of floating along. But that window is going to start to close.
It probably has to do with this draft class, like I said, because like we have just like had the worst luck with this draft class. Like we're literally rolling out the exact same team as last year, and it's no fault of our own. It's just like these guys, like you have Max Harrison, who suffered a knee injury with no history of knee injuries ever. All right, and he suffers a non-contact during training camp, so he's out. Dorian Strong looks great, right? Guess what? Neck injury. He's on the IR. We still don't know how serious it is. His career could be over, right? You have TJ Sanders, who everyone was so hyped about. He has a knee injury. He's on the IR. Thank God for Deion Walker. Like, He is the only bright spot of last night that I could be excited about. Of being like, okay, like we have our dude that's quality in run defense that can rush the passer. He's the future of this interior defensive line. Him and Ed Oliver, I think, are a pair. I think that they need to be running that pair throughout the remainder of the season. I really do. I think that it's great. Same thing with defensive line, right? Like Bosa's good. He's been playing very well. I want him to finish a bit more, right? But like he's been playing very well. Greg Rousseau, man, that asshole for going offsides in the first play of the game.
Yeah.
That absolute asshole. Again, right? Now it's penalties. 3 games in a row. We had like 22, I think, and that was announced at halftime. Like where the Buffalo Bills have now committed 22 penalties in just 2 games in 1 quarter. What happened, dude? What happened? For the first 3 games of the season, we were the least penalized team in the league. And now I'm pretty sure we're the most penalized team in the league. And all it took was 3 games. Yeah. Right back down to that. I think that boils down to coaching as well. And this is my Uncle Jim, by the way. He's coming in. He's saying, playing a zone D is killing this team, and so is no number 1 wide receiver. Better figure it out fast. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Undisciplined, by the way. It's undisciplined football over the last 3 games. I don't know. But once again, that's the Sean McDermott thing. He preaches all this stuff. You hear him all the time, like fundamentals and this, and we got to tackle better, and we can't get penalties like that. But yet we're doing them game after game after game. Dude, stop telling us about it. Fix the fucking problem. Fix the issue. We know it. We see it. Correct it.
That's exactly what I am saying. Let's get to some super chats here. And the most annoying thing is seeing opponents get wide open on our defense and our guys get locked in seatbelts on offense. You guys see that helicopter crash the other day? That's the Bills right now. We lost the tail rotor and we're spinning toward the ground. I get it. We've lost 2 straight. We're sitting at 4-2 on our bye week. I still think we can win the division. We need to start from ground zero. Whiskey is saying Haley will make Josh request a trade. Oh God. Yeah. Good God, man. Dude, you know what? Like, so I posted a video suggesting that I feel like Sean McDermott should be fired. And some Jets fan commented on it. And it really put things into perspective. And it said this. It said, imagine being so spoiled that your team is sitting at 4-2 and you're pounding the table for your head coach to be canned. Meanwhile, my team is 0-6 and has not been in the playoffs in 15 plus years. So I get it, right? I get it. Are we spoiled? Maybe, right? But I want more, dude. I want more. Like, dude, we have a generational talent. Like,
yeah, I don't like that argument though. Like, I'm done with that argument. You know, like I get where he's coming from because they just want a decent season. Like, I get that argument coming from a losing team for so long. However, we're not a losing team, right? We have, like you said, one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks. Yeah. And listen, like, I get it. If this was early on in our rebuild and we're year 3 in McDermott and we're like, hey, dude, we won the division 2 years in a row and like, stop complaining, right? Like, hey, we still got time. Like, you know what I mean? This just started. I would get that argument, but we're in year 9. Like, we need more. We want more. This is not like, I am not a fan where I'm like, you know, hey, at least we're a good team. At least we made the playoffs. Like, that's not good enough anymore. Right? Like, we have yet to win a Super Bowl. Right? Yet this organization has not won a Super Bowl. Like, so we have nothing to hang our hat on. We cannot say, well, at least we won it in 2022. At least we won it. We won nothing. We haven't even gone. So no, man, I'm not, you know, look, McDermott is a good coach, I guess, but I don't know if he's a Super Bowl caliber coach. Right. And I don't know if he has what it takes. And that's the problem. And yes, and the other, you know, thing people say is, okay, Tommy, then who are we going to get? I have no idea. I have no idea because
I don't know.
we don't know who's
Johnny?
out there.
Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. I don't know.
Right.
Come on.
We're not there yet. You know what I mean? We have no idea, right? But by us just saying that and be like, well, fuck it, let's just keep them. I mean, like, it's a terrible way to think. Yeah, like that'd be like going to the same restaurant, getting the same like average food, and be like, I know there's other restaurants to try, but man, I've been going here so long.
Yeah,
you know, I know the burger's average, but man, what if I go down the street and that burger's even worse? Like, I just stick with the average burger. Like, dude, you got to eventually move on. You got to try something else. Like, if you've been doing it so long, you can't just keep like, well, it fills my stomach. It's all right. Like, dude, try something else. You have to eventually, or you're just going to eventually get sick and tired of it. And I think a lot of Bills Mafia is getting sick and tired of it. Even the ones that, you know, were on the Sean McDermott train. I think a lot of them are like, fuck it, I'm jumping the fuck off.
We have top 3 fundamentals of the bye week. No disrespect. Alex, what's going on, man? How you doing? I want to say Alex is a Pats fan. Number 1 for me, just go on ahead and activate those guys from suspension. Hoyt and Ogunjobi, I hope that they can make things better, right? And Maxwell Harrison, dude, activate his ass right now onto that 21-day practice window. He does not need to wait for the full 21 days. Get him out there for the Panthers game. Get him out there for the Panthers game. I don't care if you're worried about staggering his development. Who cares? Get him out there.
I forgot about Hoyt. I don't know why I forgot about it. That's a great point, Dan. So that's a guy that I do have high hopes for.
Yeah.
Hoyt could potentially make somewhat of a difference to this defense. Absolutely. If he plays like he played for the Rams here in Buffalo, that's a guy that can improve this defense. No doubt about it. Ogunjobi, we'll see. I'm not high on him. I don't know what he'll bring, but at this point, like you said, half an hour ago, at this point, just whatever. Try whatever. Bringing up Gabe Davis? Sure. Right? I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Dude. It's just as bad as it was? Okay. You know what I mean?
Hey.
We got to try. We got to try anything at this point, especially if you're not going to pull the trigger on a trade or a free agent. Then you need to just pull all the cards. Right? Try anything.
So do we dare open up the garage beer hotline, man?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Man. I mean, why not? You're gonna get some. Let's hear from Bills Mafia. I'm sure you're gonna get some pissed off people.
Bills Mafia. I'm sorry, opposing fan bases. I am not allowing you to come onto the channel today. This is a therapy session for Bills fans. As you know, it's open to everybody typically, but I feel like Bills Mafia needs this right now more than anybody. So
dude, they do.
No disrespect to the other fan bases who support me. Don't worry, you will have an opportunity to call in almost every other stream. But this call-in line is brought to you by Garage Beer. Folks, I'll tell you what. If there's any day to drink in the middle of a Tuesday, it's today, all right? And you better be drinking Garage Beer, all right? The number 1 sadness beer on the face of the planet right here. No, I'm just kidding, man. It is Beer Taste and Beer. It is a proud partner of this show, and I appreciate everything that they have done for us over on the Dom Mafia Report. Shout out to Garage Beer. Without them, this hotline would not exist. Matthew, what's on your mind, pal?
God, you got it. Because here's the thing. I'm also a Florida State fan, and Florida State should drop 3 ACC games in a row. The Bills are horrendous. Both my football teams are absolutely putrid right now. Josh Allen's playing like crap. James Cook is the only bright spot on our team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say it. I don't agree with firing him right now because I still think we can win the division for how putrid our division is, and even though we can I think we still win in Foxborough. When's that game? The Bills Pats.
I haven't even looked at the schedule at this point.
It's week 15. Week 15.
Yeah, week 15 in Foxborough. But so the Pats, for some reason, are a hell of a lot better on the road than they are at home for some odd reason.
That is
So,
true. But I mean, we can't tackle. The penalties are horrible. Josh Allen is playing like 2019, 2021 Josh Allen. Like we're just gonna throw 100 turnovers per game. How do we only score 14 points? And we scored a touchdown in the beginning of the game and a touchdown in. It's horrendous. I don't know. Joe Brady, you should have left because I don't think you're getting a job now. It's there's so many problems, and the problems with the Pagulas is because as long as the Bills aren't a top 10 pick, they're not going to do anything because the Sabres are so horrendously ass that as long as the Bills are somewhat decent, they ain't going to do anything because when Buffalo comes with pitchforks to their house, they're going to say, well, at least the Bills are decent, even though the Sabres are also bad. I mean, I'm not that big of a Sabres fan. I'm more of a Lightning fan because I'm in Florida, but it's as if the Bills are not a top 10 pick, they will not do a single thing to elevate this team majorly. They'll, of course, make moves and change this and change that, but they won't do anything crazy unless the Bills are a top 10 pick or the Sabres win the Stanley Cup.
Well, Matthew, I appreciate you calling in, man. He's feeling some type of way. And you know what? And so I do think that does play a factor into it, Tommy, is where the Pagulas look at the Sabres, but then when they look at the Bills, they're like, could be a lot worse. Trust me,
We got that to fall. Got that to fall back on.
I would know. Trust me, this is gonna be a hell of a lot worse. I promise you that. 4-2. Oh, damn, brother. Damn, we're all right. Damn. All right, guys. Bills Mafia. The hotline is open. Lock in. Max, what up, dude?
Dan, I was at the game last night, and something was very, very apparent to me. I hate Bobby Babich.
So do I.
We need to throw him in the gulag. Like, I think Sean McDermott is an incredible defensive play caller. Let him call plays. Like, I understand that the pick at the end of the half, like, it's unacceptable. And you said that whatever the defense held them to 24 points. When you allow the time of possession that we allowed and you're banking on Greg Rousseau blocking a field goal to keep us in the game, it's kind of ridiculous. And it was an individual play that stopped Drake London. That wasn't Bobby Babich saying, oh, we're going to keep this high safety just in case they try to throw it for a touchdown. No, it was a horrible coverage play call. I can't even comprehend the play calling last night. It was ridiculous. He didn't know how to play situational football until he knew for a fact that they're going to run the ball because they're going to win. Mm-hmm. It's so bad. It's and Josh Palmer looked incredible and then he gets himself hurt.
Yeah. It's just our luck, right?
I think that when you look at individual players and the personnel, when they had to step up, they stepped up. But the scheme that we were running was so bad. They're going to use Bijan Robinson, but hey, let's have nobody covering him coming out of the backfield, and let's run a zero pressure blitz and have him be the odd man out, and then he gets like a 30-yard reception. He's the first read, and Drake London goes in that has a great game.
I'm pissed, Max. Max, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much for calling in. Dobby, any comments on Max's comments? Max, you're the man. Thank you so much for calling in.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like we knew the strengths of the Falcons offense, right? Babich it seemed like he had no game plan at all. If he did, it wasn't effective at all. He didn't do any adjustments. Look, I get we said the Bills defense did all right. Still wasn't good enough. I mean, look, Michael Penix is, 251 touchdown. He had a pretty clean game for the most part. But Bijan Robinson, 170 yards on the ground. I know he's a good player, but my God, I mean, come on. 81 on the long. And then Drake London, 158 yards receiving. Yeah. I mean, that's terrible defense. That's not good defense.
And so to add insult to injury as well, I was playing against Drake London in fantasy football.
Oh, lovely.
I got absolutely destroyed.
Lovely. Just lovely.
Of both of those dudes, man. It was absolutely god awful. Nate, Big Dog's in the building. Nate, what up, man? What's on your mind?
Oh man, dude, I just can't understand why we didn't get a outside run from James Cook the entire game.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
he was literally up the gut every single time, and they kept him to 2 or 3 yards. I really think if we could have gotten a couple big explosive plays if we put him on the outside, honestly.
I agree.
And another thing is I don't know what's up with Josh's head, but he was not playing Josh football. There were several times where I watched him just not move and take a sack. Where like usually he'd be scrambling around, he'd be trying to make a play, but he just sat there and took it. I don't understand what's if he's being suppressed or whatever. There's something off with his head. I feel like.
Yeah.
I think with that though, I think you're starting to see frustration.
Shout out to Nate for the
call. Yeah, Nate, I think you're starting to see frustration from Josh Allen. You looked at his face last night, like a couple of times when they panned in. He looked like defeated. He looked like a guy that he had no answer.
He's been like that for the past 3 games.
Yeah, he looked pissed. Like he slammed his helmet at one point. They showed him slamming his helmet on a sideline. That's not what Josh Allen does, right? Unless something's really going wrong. And I feel like I get what you're saying about the pressure, but man, sometimes the pressure was just there. He had nowhere to go. Like I mean, he tried his best to get out of some of those situations, but and then the turnovers, I felt like I think he's just trying to make anything happen, right? He's pressing because he has no other option. There's nobody getting open. I feel like this is dating back to old school Allen when he had nobody to throw to, right? And he was just like trying to make anything happen. And yeah, it's not good. We don't want that. We don't want turnovers. But what do you want him to do? Where do you want him to throw to? There's nobody there, nobody open. He's trying to make something happen. And look, you know what helped in the second half a little bit too when we went away from it? Getting the running backs involved in the passing game. It's another thing that works very well in this offense. We just tend to go away from it. I mean, what happened to Ty Johnson? Remember Ty Johnson last year was a big factor in the
him. And we paid him this offseason.
And now we're going, Ty, what does usually as a third down back? We're not going to really get you involved in the receiving game anymore. We're good with what we got. No, we're not. Why don't you involve him some more? Why don't you involve James Cook more? Right? That's why you drafted him actually, because he's he could catch the ball out the backfield. Right? He's good with that. Devin Singletary wasn't. That was one of the main reasons. If you remember that draft, I think we tried to get the Washington running back before we drafted James Cook. He was going to come on the team. We would have never got James Cook. I forget his name, but remember the trade went through, or the signing went bad. Was it McKissick? Was it McKissick? Like yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
J.D. McKissick. Yeah.
Right. And then we were like, all right. Remember, Bean was pissed because we wanted that guy. And then we drafted James Cook the same year because that was the replacement of McKissick. So it worked out, but use him more. So I look, there's a lot of things right now that I think both coordinators are really struggling. And adjustments are terrible. In-game adjustments have been awful over the last 4 games.
That's what I'm talking about. We got Josh in the building. Josh, what's on your mind, man? Hey, Josh, you there? So you're muted, brother.
Hello?
There you go.
What's up, man?
Okay, real quick. I think our main problem is we're really predictable. Keon Coleman's in the same place. Khalil Shakir's in the same place. And Trey White, he's not even.
See there, bro? Now, hey, Josh, I think your mic may went out.
He's throwing his helmet.
There you go.
I still have belief in this team, but I don't know what they're going to do anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Love your content.
Yeah. Hey, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for tapping in and letting us know your thoughts on this team, dude.
He ain't lying, by the way, Dan. As far as consistency goes, the receiver room, like I'm pulling it up here, game log wise. Shakir 64, 12, 45, 69, 45, 33. Keon Coleman 112. We're like, watch out for Keon. 26, 20, 45, 23, 11. And then you got Palmer 61, 47, 5, 25, 36, 60. I mean, these are just they're eating barely, right? They're losing a lot of weight.
Crumbs. That's what I'm talking about. And they're intermittent fasting out here. You know
anorexic,
what I mean?
Like these guys are losing weight really fast.
Man, hell.
Salads.
So our guys are losing, and so our guys are losing nutrition here, brother.
Right. Eating protein.
All right, dude, we got James in the building. James, what up, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
It could be better.
I can't believe our defense cannot do nothing against those Falcons last night.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I know.
And we have the Panthers next week. We gotta win.
Yes, James, we have to. It's the Panthers. It's the Chiefs. It's the Miami Dolphins. Show me something. Show me consistency. All right. In this Chiefs game, I'm sure Mahomes is going to put up 40. But can our offense put up 45?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I hope so. But yeah, dude, we share the same frustrations. And that much I can tell you.
Yeah.
I can say that the Josh Allen don't turn out the ball.
It's rough, man. It's over and over and over again. But hey, you know what? All we can hope is that we get right after the bye week and we just move forward. Shout out to James for calling in and providing your insight, man. I appreciate that. You are the man. We have Angela is in the building. Angela, what's going on?
Hi, Dan. I love your show, by the way.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that.
My thought is there's something going on with Josh as far as he doesn't have confidence that the people are going to be there, that he needs to be there. And this last few weeks, I've really noticed that. And then with the Coleman getting coach discipline and just weird stuff going on, there's something else going on that they need to fix these 2 weeks for sure.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be, you know, like it's normally when you see a quarterback frustrated and razzled behind the offensive line, 9 times out of 10, it is boiled down to confidence. Most of the time it's because he's not very keen into believing that he's going to be appropriately protected by his line. Something else is going on. And so I think that he's not trusting his wide receivers to consistently get open downfield. I think that's the true problem where his confidence lies. But he's such a leader. He will refuse to call anybody out. I just hope he's a bit more outspoken behind closed doors than he is in front of the media. I would assume he will be. And I'm hoping that we can bring in a game changer that can be that offensive weapon for us. Because at this point, and so the defense is the defense. Like, it's not going to get better. It is not going to get better. We know what this team is. Sometimes the best defense is a really good offense, and we have not seen this version of the Buffalo Bills in weeks. That's me.
I think you're right on that, by the way, with Josh. Especially when Josh, maybe
for calling in.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Angela, and maybe you're right, Dan. Maybe Dan. I mean, maybe Josh behind the scenes, you know, is privately maybe discussing that with.
I hope so.
McDermott and Bean and Babbage, maybe like just, I mean, not Babbage, Brady, and just saying, hey, like I need help. You know what I mean? We need to get something here to help me because, man, this is like really, honestly, like it's getting to be old. Like, look, like young Josh Allen with this reminds me almost, not as bad, but like the 2018. You know, when we had just a bunch of misfits out there running around, right? And I'm not saying it's as bad, but you saw kind of how that was, right? And then you saw when we got in 2019, John Brown, Cole Beasley, what a step up. I mean, you're talking about John Brown, who, never had 1,000 yards in his career, gets 1,000 yards the day he steps foot in Buffalo with Josh Allen. That tells you everything you need to know, right? Having a reliable receiver, and he wasn't even the greatest receiver at the time, right? He was a good receiver, and Cole Beasley turned out to be a really, really good better slot here in Buffalo, right? And as we continue to add weapons for Josh continued to improve and get better. And like I said, I don't get I don't understand why Bean and McDermott think now that Allen has grown and gotten better with his fundamentals and maturity, that now he doesn't need the John Browns, the Cole Beasleys, the Stephon Diggs, the Emmanuel Sanders of the world. He'll be just fine with Elijah Moore and Palmer and Keon Coleman. Like that's not how it works. Every quarterback should have a guy that he can rely on, and he simply does not have that. These are facts. We're seeing it. So they got to get that out of their head that Josh Allen could just make everything all right and great, and these receivers look better than they actually are, because they're not, or they're just simply not.
They're just simply not. And who were to know that WGR would have been right all along?
Right. Brandon Bean's going, damn it.
Who would have known, man? Like, we had people like making t-shirts and stuff like that, being like, Brandon Bean owns WGR. I'm like, does he? Does he though? Does he? All right, we got Todd in the building. Todd, what up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. That 4th and 2, where Josh is kind of, that underhand pass that basically about sums up what's going on right now. I don't know what's going on with Jay, but I've seen that look before a couple years ago on the sideline, and it was like the whole team a couple years ago had that same look. And I mean, that pass pretty much sums up what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Jay. And our O-line's the same O-line from last year. I don't know why they can't protect Jay all of a sudden. It's just it boggles my mind. But I'm not giving up. I'm hoping this bye week they're going to rest up some guys. We're going to get some new players on defense that's been sitting out for whatever reasons why they were put on for breaking the rules for PEDs or whatever it was. So I'm hoping we're going to get some run defense, because if not, come the Panthers game, Rico's going to put up like 300 yards on the ground on us.
Rico Dowdle. Probably.
I'm hoping this isn't going to be a rinse and repeat, because this team is so much more for a whole bunch of people in the world, and it's an embarrassment currently, and they need to stop these penalties. I don't know what's going on with that too, and that comes down to coaching.
It does, man.
So that's all I got. But
Todd,
that 4th and 2 thing about summed it up. I would have tattooed Wilson and the Duke right on his chest for that play.
Todd, you and I both, man. Todd, we appreciate you calling in, man. Longtime viewer, by the way. I'm glad that a lot of people are tapping in for the first time via the phone line, man.
There you go.
So the thing is, like, Tommy, I'm not sure about you, but like I have often said, so the difference between a bad offensive line and an average offensive line is 0.5 seconds. And the difference between an average offensive line and an elite offensive line is 0.5 seconds. When your offensive line is giving you 3 seconds to find the open man, it's not the offensive line's problem. It is not. Like, you were in the NFL, right? You were in the NFL, and you're going up against very talented defenders, like coming off of the edge. And Atlanta blitzed a lot, right? But for the most part, like when you were just looking at organic pressure, like Josh had all the time in the world to find an open man. The problem, nobody was open. That's the problem. That nobody is open. So
nobody's creating enough space for him to feel comfortable to throw the ball to. And by the way, that end around, we did it again. Like that's 2 weeks in a row where we tried an end around.
3 weeks in a row.
with a fumble. With a fumble, yeah. On a, like, what are we doing here? Like, in that pitch that Allen's doing, he's like falling in love with it. Like dude, like it's okay here and there to do it, but like dude, like you can't do it every game now. Like it's you got to that play was made there to be made if he would just throw the damn ball. He didn't need to pitch the ball there. I didn't understand that, but yeah, I think this team is actually doing some uncharacteristic things too. Like we don't tend to turn the ball over as much as we have been over the last 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks, and it's the penalties are adding up, like things that we weren't doing early on we're doing a lot of now. But you're right. I mean, he's I've seen him get plenty of time to throw the ball, plenty of time, and that just tells me that there's nobody there, or else I believe in Allen would throw the damn ball to that open receiver. There's going to be some plays where we go back and look and go, oh, Curtis Samuel's wide open. Yes, but you can nitpick and go back to every football game, every quarterback, and there's going to be receivers they miss. That's just the name of the game, right? They're not perfect. They're going to miss some throws, but for the most part, these guys just simply aren't getting open. I mean, these are just the way it is, man. And Kincaid not being in the game last night, that hurt. That's one of his guys that's kind of been reliable, right?
It hurt.
It hurt. So I don't know, man. Like I said, at this point, Dan, it's just we got to get the guy help, man. You can't keep going on like this. You cannot just keep depending on Allen could make it work, and the guys in the room are going to figure it out. We're going into week 8 after the bye. If they haven't figured it out by now, they're not going to figure it out during the bye week. Like, they're not. This is who they are. This is what we got. It's time to figure out another option. Plain and simple.
That's what I'm talking about right now, man. Tables and tailgates on the Garage Beer Hotline. What's going on, man?
Dan, Tommy, hey guys, first time caller, long time listener. Love what you guys got going over here on the show. Look, I've been coining this term for over 3 weeks now. It's called BIS and MIS, Bean Insanity Syndrome and McDermott Insanity Syndrome.
I like that.
Look, insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We have to get something different to shake up the offense, to start looking more like a Kansas City Chiefs offense and utilize some of the brains that other teams that are making it that step forward to the Super Bowl, right? And it's insane to sit there and look and say, I loved at first, I was with you, Dan, everybody, hey, the everybody eats mantra looked great. It looks great on paper. But when you got teams that can snuff that out, and then you get all these injuries and you have nobody that can help Josh, you could put Patrick Mahomes back there under center and give him the same thing. He's going to look the exact same as Josh did yesterday. Nobody's going to look any better.
Yep.
Not with Brady calling it.
Yeah.
If you had Andy Reid with, like I said earlier, I believe you could throw the same receivers onto the Chiefs, he would know how to work with them. I promise you. I promise you.
We appreciate the call too,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you for calling in. I love BIS and MIS, right?
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like that these guys have been protected from criticism for far too long. Shout out to Tables for coming on in. I hope you make it a habit of being able to call in a bit more often. If dude, it's tough. It's tough out there, man. It really is. Spidey, who was actually at the game yesterday. I'm sorry you had to drive all the way to Atlanta to watch that monstrosity, my friend.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, them Falcons fans are they got a lot of shit to talk whenever they're winning. So
oh, good God. Good God.
But no, it was a good time. I enjoyed myself. But this team needs help on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure which side needs it more. We have some defensive players coming back off suspension, like you stated earlier. If Harrison can get healthy and lock in, that will help extremely too. I don't trust in Trey. Maybe I know Rap made a move last night, but maybe get someone else other than Rap out there.
Yep.
But I honestly feel that Josh is frustrated. He can't rely on his wide receivers. That frustrated face you see, that frustrated face he gives, that's him not being able to trust in his wide receivers. Maybe, and Kincaid's not a wide receiver, but he's the top targeted person. He wasn't in the game last night. That showed. Keon was a bust last night. Palmer, he had 2 good receptions and then got injured, but he's just I feel like he and he wouldn't say it. He just can't rely on these wide receivers, and I would rather a move be made for a wide receiver now
Me
than
too.
a defensive player.
Yep.
Me too.
The defense, I believe we had over 300 yards on us in the first half and had around 100 yards in the second half. The bend don't break thing has been nice. The second half team thing has been nice, but I'd rather just be a whole game team. I'd rather us,
Yeah, me too, dude.
we make our adjustments in the second half. 100 yards, being held to around 100 yards in the second half, that's 3 points. That's great. If we could have scored, we would have won, but we couldn't have scored. I don't know if it's Tom Brady's play calling and our wide receivers not being able to live up to those play calls, or if Tom Brady's play calling has just been, or not Tom Brady, Joe Brady.
I wish it was Tom Brady. I wish.
Yeah, right. Joe Brady's play
Great.
calling. I don't know if it's changed, but something's different about this team. We haven't been in this position in a while, and these last 2 games, even 3 games, they haven't showed promise. I think that's why we're like this right now. It's still early in the season. We can still turn around. But I want trades to be made in these next 2 weeks. I want to have some new players on this team in the Panthers game. And if we lose that Panthers game, I think that's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
Oh yeah, I will be hate watching for the remainder of the season. I'll still be here though, and me and Tommy will be here regardless if we don't win another game. All right, we're gonna be here. All right, and I'm sure a lot of, and so I'm sure we'll probably have like 2 live viewers by week 15 if that's the case. But hey, doesn't matter. It does not matter in the slightest. As far as adding, Tommy, here's the deal. Don't make a trade on the defensive side of the football. Why? Because so much is wrong with our defense at this point that adding a player is not going to move the needle one way or the other, right?
Nope.
Like adding a single guy is still going to make this defense hot ass. However,
correct.
Proven last year, when we end up bringing a threat onto this offense at the wide receiving room, that changes everything. We are 1 wide receiver piece away. And I'm not even talking somebody that can have production, somebody that's a threat, somebody that's
it.
Defensive coordinators looking at being like, all right, dude. So my suggestion, get a separator, get somebody that strikes fear in defensive coordinators, because there's so much to fix on the defense right now. Wasting and, sending off draft capital for like 1 safety or like 1 CB2, not fixing shit, folks. It's not fixing shit. All right. So give me AJ Brown. Send over a first. I don't care. Send over 2 firsts. All right. At this point, who gives a shit? I could care less. I could care less if he becomes a locker room cancer next year. All right. And he's upset. It doesn't matter because we would have an out on his deal after next year. Why not? $790,000. Sign me up. Dustin's in the building. Dustin, what up?
What's up, guys? How are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, man.
I appreciate everything you do. First time caller. I listen to you all the time. I actually tend to not only, I somewhat agree with you, but I feel that the deep threat, while certainly a possibility, I think we should go after somebody that might be a little bit more feasible, like a DeAndre Hopkins. Get him out of Baltimore. Where is Baltimore going? He's old enough to where he's just trying to hang on to a thread and get something under his belt in terms of a championship. Baltimore obviously is trending downward, and I don't think they have any light. Maybe they do when Lamar comes back. No, he's not necessarily a separation deep guy, but we were 2 for 9 last night on third downs. I believe it was 2 for 9.
Mm-hmm.
Keon Coleman, unfortunately, he's not a separation guy and he's not a yard after catch guy, but he can't even come up with a contested catch, unfortunately, to save his life at the moment. I love the guy. Great off the field. I love it. Fine. No worries there. He can't even seem to get his hands in the vicinity of the football when throwing a one-on-one, either a comeback route or a jump ball. It seems as if his arms are tied to his side. I don't know what's happening there. He can't even get close to catching a football. And the second thing I'll say, and I'll let you guys respond, are we trying to fool someone with a 360 wraparound handoff to Khalil Shakir on 4th and 1 the week after a fake tight end sweep or a tight end pull to Dawson Knox, fumbled, exchange, fake, whatever you have you, and then Elijah Moore last night? Like, are we trying to trick someone? Have we even ran our quote unquote air quotes I'm giving you tush push at all this year? 3rd and 1, get a half of a yard twice. Tell your team you got 2 downs to get 1 yard. We're running the same play. Get out there, be physical, jam it down their throat. Instead, we try to get this trickery involved. We back up 4 yards and then we have to punt. I don't know who we're fooling. Dawson Knox is not taking an end around last week. You're not faking anybody with Dawson Knox running down the line of scrimmage. I'm ranting. I'm frustrated. I think Joe Brady is certainly an issue. And lastly, Josh Allen, I understand you don't want to smear your teammate publicly, your team and your front office publicly. On 3rd and 1, change the damn play in the huddle. No one will know. You're not publicly humiliating Joe Brady or Sean McDermott. If it's 3rd and 1, change the damn play, shove it down their throat, deal with it. Then in the locker room between you and him afterwards, we have to get a win. I want Josh Allen. I love him, and I know no one can say anything negative about him. We all love him. Publicly, I want him to be on the sideline and start screaming at somebody. Okay? Tom Brady used to literally freak the hell out if things weren't going the way that he felt necessary. He held everyone so accountable, publicly or not in an interview setting, but on the field. I want a little bit more out of him. Slam something, yell at somebody. I'm not saying disrespect your boys, but get after it and show it on the field. You need to be held to a higher standard. Sorry, I'm done on my rant. I'll hear what you guys have to say. Appreciate the both of you.
Dude, shout out to Dustin, man. Dude, my guy came in here and he was, dude, you know what? He brings up a great point. Where the hell is the tush push? Where the hell is the tush push?
I agree with that. I agree with.
I've seen it once this year. Maybe it's recency bias. Maybe we did it for the first couple of weeks, but all my mind is filled with is criticism for this team and negative thoughts. So I can't think. I'm sure we have. But
no, not much. But you're right. That and you know what? He's not making a bad point. I mentioned this last night too on the post game. I said Allen needs to listen. Allen needs, if you don't like the play at the line, if it doesn't make sense, change the damn play. No one's. What are they going to tell you? You're the leader of this team. You're the franchise quarterback, right? Jim Kelly did it for years. The best have always done that. Tom Brady, Dan Marino. You have the keys. This is your team, right? If Brady calls something and you don't agree with it, get out of that call. Change audible. What are they going to tell you? They're going to tell you nothing. Like, this is your team. This is your offense. That you're not a rookie, right? You're in year 8. No one's going to hate that. Even if the play doesn't work, no one's going to be like, oh, Josh Allen changing play. Dude, I trust him. He's our quarterback. We should be able to trust him in his decision making. And you know what? I would love to see like a K gun with him, where we go no huddle and just let Josh kind of do. It seems like we run our best offense when we're in that 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
No huddle, going up to the line. Josh is playing free. The offense is playing free. It just seems like that's the only thing right now that seems smooth with this offense is when we go a 2-minute drive, no huddle situation. Outside of that, man, it's clunky. So I'm with that caller there as far as that goes. Josh needs to start changing some play calls if he doesn't feel like it's a good call and doing his own thing, man. No one's going to yell at him.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Folks, we're closing the Garage Beer Hotline. No offense to the Patriots fans backstage. Love you guys, but this is only for the Bills fans today. I will open it up tomorrow where you guys can gloat. Say, oh, the Patriots are back. Don't blink. Anyway, fun fact, I did see the Keon Coleman when he's not going against podcasters. I thought this was pretty funny.
Terrible.
Anyway, folks, that's going to have to do it for Overreaction Tuesday. Tom, dude, me and you, bro, like we have had some a rough month of October so far, my friend. It has been a terrible October right now. Apologies for anybody trying to do sober October right now. I'm sure that it's been an absolute challenge for you, especially if you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
It's about as scary as you can get, Dan.
Especially if you are a Buffalo Bills fan. We have Donut Bob is coming in asking about the helmet. So the Thurman Thomas helmet, yes, I am still giving this away. I'm pushing it till, I don't know, like Wednesday probably. Sorry for the delays. I just see a lot of like opposing fans in here. And no disrespect to them, but like how I end up selecting a winner, I just want to make sure that it's one of those streams where like it's predominantly Bills fans, so I'm not like inadvertently sending this over to like a Saints fan that lives in North Dakota.
It's gonna burn it.
Yeah. So Donut, have no fear, man. This giveaway is still going on. I just sent that James Cook jersey to a young man in Arizona a couple of days ago. Still on. I will give you a full announcement when the stream begins. Maybe I wait until the Panthers game. Maybe, I don't know. It's just tough when the Bills are losing because like
a win. You gotta wait for a win.
50% of my audience. Yeah, exactly. 50% of my dude, look. The best time for me to do giveaways like on this channel is like when the Buffalo Bills are up by like 2 scores. So
right, everybody
knows
else
that opposing fan bases aren't in this chat, right? Like that's what I know. So
right, they don't want to hear the good stuff. Yeah,
I might wait until Sunday. Hopefully the Buffalo Bills have a healthy lead by halftime, and I know that all of the opposing fan bases that are here just to troll me are not. We'll be good. Donut, you're the man, dude. Everyone wondering about the giveaway. It's still active. Yeah. All right. Is what it is.
Or Dan will hold on to that helmet for a long time.
Or I might be at this point, like whatever. I'll just give it to Tom Brady in the chat right now. You know what I mean? Here, do with it as you will, my friend. I don't need this anymore.
It's all dusty.
Dude, so I hate to be a conspiracy theorist too, but well, like not a conspiracy theorist, but like I've kind of looked at the trends for the past couple of weeks, and sometimes I try not to get into it too much, but like fanatics.com has been sending me a bunch of like unboxing for videos and stuff. Like I got
That's cool.
So the Rivalries jersey, we lost terribly. Then they sent me the Salute to Service like hoodie, we lost. God. I'm thinking about sending them an email being like, dude, save that shit.
You're bad luck, man. Get out of here with your
stop sending me merchandise. All right. Like stop sending me merchandise. I refuse to wear it. Like I'm not going to do it anymore. That and like, dude, like maybe it's just bad juju for like these like new like uniform combos, right?
Maybe, right?
Dude, rivalry.
We're just fishing for anything. Maybe it's the jersey.
Get the rushing Buffalo helmet back stat, man. All right. The white boring ass helmet. In fact, cancel the red helmets this year. Cancel them, folks. Get it done.
We don't want
the red helmets. Just cancel them, dude.
Oh my God.
Dude, listen. Get back into our old boring uniform. I miss that boring ass uniform. I miss that boring ass uniform, Tommy. Bring it back, baby.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Oh my God, dude. Listen, guys, as you know, Tommy is always here with me on the reactions. Tommy, I'm sorry that it's been a really rough show for the past 2 weeks.
It's all right, man.
Guys, please do me a favor and go subscribe over to Mafia Sports Report. Tommy does a great job on his show. He has late shows. I would love to join him one of these days, but as you know, my bedtime's at 8:30 p.m. EST each and every single evening. One of these days I'll be over there, but if not, you need to go support my guy. He knows ball. You know, he's great football acumen, and I definitely respect everything you do over there, Tommy, sincerely.
I appreciate that, man.
And so I wouldn't be able to do this reaction show without you, man. I'm not going to lie.
No, I appreciate you, Dan, man. It's been a blast, and it's been look, well, at the end of the day, like I said, man, this is a roller coaster ride. I can't get mad anymore. I can get frustrated, but I'm not going to let this team ruin my mood. We got to fix. Yeah, we got to fix some things, and we got to honestly. I heard you earlier before I came on talking about like at this point, let's just hold on for hope. And what else can we do? Right? We can't take away. We can't turn back the clock, the hands of time, right? And go back and change our draft selections and get certain guys. Like all we could do is hold on for hope and hope things change and hope Brandon Beane makes some moves, because that's all we could do as Bills fans, right? We're gonna still watch and we're gonna still hope they win, and that's all we could do. There's not much we could sit here and talk about everything we could talk about, but yeah, I mean, there's not much we can't change the past and we can't predict the future. We can just live in the now, and we got to hope that that they make the right decisions, man, and better this team. And that's it. And pray.
So I'm probably going to have a full head of gray hair if the season doesn't turn around quick.
Yeah, you're going to be looking like me.
Don't turn around quick. It might. Oh, dude.
Oh, no.
Dude, I will be a silver fox. Somebody in my live chat last night, like during the game, was just like, Dan just aged 3 years in 1 quarter. I did. I did. This team's not good for my health. It's really not. Fuck. Anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Don Mafia Reports. Let's get into the bye. I think content for the remainder of the bye. I'll probably have Tommy on again next Monday or Tuesday, where we'll sort of talk about a different topic, like moves at the trade deadline or things to get excited about. Maybe you'll see 2 positive guys. Maybe we'll hop back on the delusion train and say that we're going on a damn run, brother.
Yeah, anyway. Here it comes.
Yeah, dude, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll
Go
see you
Bills.
next time. Go Bills.